Welcome back to LarryB Dress. In today's class, we're going to learn how to make this beautiful royal satin skirt that we see here. It's like an hairline skirt and it's very simple to make. We're going to be using freehand method for this. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. This is a satin skirt. I'm using this satin fabric for it. It's like Duchess. It's shiny. Okay, you can also use any fabric of your choice. The concept behind it is like an A-line skirt, so you can either use your pattern or use your freehand. We're going to be cutting directly on our fabric, so we're using freehand for this. So I'm using a total of 2 yards of fabric, but I want to show you how I'm going to fold my fabric because I'm going to cut the front and back together. I'm using zipper for this. I'm not using elastic, so I'm using my actual waist measurement, but you can also use elastic. If you are using elastic, you just need to increase your waist measurement a little bit. So here, like I said, I'm using 2 yards, so I'll first fold it by the yard, which means I'll have 1 yard here, 1 yard here. If I fold into 2 like this, if I fold the 2 yards into 2, I'll have 1 yard on each side. So let me cut the excess. Okay, so after folding my 2 yards like this into 2, 1 yard, 1 yard, the next thing is to fold in form of a triangle, like I'm cutting my flare. Okay, so this way I'm going to cut my front and back together, and I'm folding like this because my zipper is going to be on this side, so I don't need any zipper allowance for this. So my front and back is going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to fold this fabric the same way I have explained. Folded it on the table, as you can see. So when you fold, you will see this double folded point. You will see a side, it's going to be like this. Okay, there will be a side that will be completely folded, and then you have a side that you have the open part like this. Okay, so this is the side that is completely folded. So the side that is completely folded is going to be my center fold. That's where I'll start taking my measurement from, and the side that is opened like this is going to be our side. Bear in mind that we are cutting both the front and back together. Okay, so the first measurement we are going to take is this is a skirt, so you don't need so much measurement for this. The first measurement I'm going to take is my waist measurement. The waist I'm working with for this is 30 inches. Okay, 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5. So I'm going to add 1 inch seam allowance to that, and I'll have 8.5 inches. So you first look for where you get 8.5 here on your triangle. You can see how I'm placing my tape measure. So once you have your 8.5, you're going to rule a straight line over there, and that's going to be your waistline as well as the starting point. The fabric is shaky, so I'm just minding the way I'm marking on it. So I just got my ruler to have a good straight line. Okay, so after marking your straight line, which is also your waist measurement, now we'll start taking other measurements. So from this starting point, which is our waistline, we are going to mark our hip line. So the hip line I am working with is 9 inches. So from my waist to my hip is 9 inches. So from there, I'm going to mark 9 inches downwards like this, and I'll also make that into a straight line. I'll make my 9 inches into a straight line as well. So the next thing is to mark our side measurement. So I'm just trying to get a straight line for the 9 inches here. So my waist is 7.5, which is here, plus 1 inch seam allowance. I have it here. For the hip I'm working with is 42 inches. 42 divided by 4 is 10.5. So here I have my 10.5, and then I'm going to add 1 inch seam allowance to that as well. So now you can connect from your waist to your hip. So after connecting that, the next connection is going to be your full length. So you should use the curve ruler for this, but I don't have a curve ruler right now, so I'm just connecting with this straight ruler that I have. So I don't want to scatter the fabric because it's shaking. So I'm just marking it the way I can. So now the next thing is to mark the skirt length, how full you want your skirt to be. So that's going to be from your waist as well. So for me, the skirt is like a midi skirt. It just goes a little beyond your knee measurement. So if your knee is around 23-24 inches, you can add 4-5 inches to it depending on what you want. So for me, I'm going to work with around 27 inches for my length. So from the waist, I'm going to mark that. I hope the camera is capturing that. So from here now, you can see I'm marking my skirt length, which is 27 inches. So I'm marking that all round. So the skirt is like an hairline skirt, like I said. So it's not going to be a full circle flare or a half circle flare. It's not that big on the hem. It's just going to give you like an hairline effect. So for that, the hem of the skirt is not going to go all the way. I'm just going to maintain a straight line from what I have on my hip length, like this. You can see like this. So I'll just connect. If you want yours to be bigger than this, to be wider than this, you can make it wider. But I will check what I have on the hem of this now to show you the difference that I have from what I have on my hip, which is here, and what I have on the hem. Okay, so now this is my hem, and if I measure my hem here, I have about 18 inches. Okay, here I have 18 inches, and if you check what I have on the hip, I have 11.5 inches including seam allowance. So you can see that it is quite different and it is wider. So the next thing is for you to go ahead and cut out these measurements that you have. So that's my waist there. Here I'm going to cut my hip measurement, and I'm cutting it straight down to the skirt length, which is here. Then on my skirt length, I'm going to cut around that measurement that I've taken. So that's all you need to do for this satin skirt. And you can see that I have both the front and back cut together. So this is my front and this is my back. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out facing to turn the waistline. So to cut your facing, just like we cut our normal facing, I'm going to put it on fold and then bring the leftover fabric that I have to cut out this facing. So the leftover fabric that I have, I will just fold it into two and then place this waist on it to cut it out. So you're going to fold into two like this. Fold what is going to be enough for your waist, and then we're going to place the waist on it and then cut it out. So it's that simple. You can use one of it since they are both the same measurement. So once you have it like this, I'm going to go ahead and cut out that part. So now I'm cutting out the waist, and then this is the side. You're just going to cut a little bit, maybe 3 inches is fine, or depending on how long you want it to be. So after cutting that, I'm going to cut the rest. So I'll cut another one for the side, for the back as well. So like I said, it's a very simple skirt, and this facing is what we are going to use to turn the waistline because it does not have a band. You can also hem it with your bias when you are done. I just want to use a facing for mine. So now that I've cut this out, my fabric is very shaky, like I said, so I'm going to add interfacing to this to stabilize it a little bit. Then after adding my interfacing to this, I'm going to place it on the skirt and then go ahead to sew so that I can use it to turn my skirt. So you can see. So you can see I've gone ahead to add interfacing to the facing. I added gum stay to it, and then I just placed it on the waistline, and then I sew. So here now on the edge here, you're going to go ahead and serge it so that it can be neat, and then we're going to flip it like this. So after flipping it, I just want it to be something like this. Then I'll go ahead and iron it so that it can be flat. That way I have successfully turned my waistline. So I did the same thing for the back as well. We are going to turn it like that. So after that, what you just need to do is to place the front and back against each other, and then you're going to sew it by the side. Like I said, it's very simple. So one of the side is where my zipper is going to be fixed. So I'll fix my zipper on one of the side, and I already added 1 inch seam allowance, so there will be no problem with that. Then after that, you hem your lower part. That's the hem line. You can either serge it as well, or you just turn it a little bit. So after flipping this and ironing, I'll take it to the sewing machine and then sew it by the side, and then hem it on the lower part, and the skirt is ready after you have fixed your zipper by the side. So I'll do all of this now and bring you back to show us over. So this is what the skirt looks like. You just need to fix your zip, and then you hem the lower part, and your skirt is ready. You can see how free it is. If you want it fuller than this, you just need to increase what you have on the hem. I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.